guys, welcome back today for episode 4.
Well, yeah, so we're gonna do a little Shane vehicular update, and I think we're gonna do some reconfiguring of the microphoneage, lest we sound so much like a robot hosting a talk show through a transistor radio sitting inside a stock pot. So you can imagine what that would sound like. It helps if you've ever heard a buddy's super ricey exhaust straight pipe Honda Civic. Buddy once asked me to describe one in 3 words. I said, screaming into bucket. he's like, yeah, you know what? Couldn't have fucking nailed it better myself. So, lest we sound horrendous, we're gonna get a little closer to the microphone, if you will. Get a little bees with your ear buzz action going on. And we're gonna update you on what's happened with me vehicularly since the rescuage of the Tahoe, because my God, has it been an ordeal. So what's happened is somewhere after rescuing the Tahoe, I was coming home from HO because I had the Cowie. Right? I had the Cowie Ninja, and then I had to sell that to get the Silverado.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had the Ducati in pieces, I had the Silverado, and I had the Lexus broken. So one night I'm coming home from Ho, and I decided to conduct a vehicular experiment with regard to speed and cornering in my factory stock truck. Oh, and this is also probably going to get fucking copyrighted because I have Oblivion. I'm coming home from Ho one night, and it was not a bad day. It was not by any means a bad day, actually. It was, everything was going relatively well. There was, on that particular day, I had 0 impulse to commit toaster bathtub. So, this was not intentional. So, I conducted a little vehicular experiment, which goes a little sidewards. So I come into exit 53 off of Highway 1, going slightly faster than I ought to have been going, and decelerate without the usage of my brakes. Lack of wisdom on that one. Decelerate without the usage of my brakes to a speed that was likely still quite a bit faster than I should have been going. And then I proceeded to slide out on all fours, go lock to lock a couple of times, and Ken Bliggity block that bitch into the far side of the ditch off of Highway 1. Just jump that fucker into the other side of the ditch. Just left the road, fucking flew, just bananaed that thing. The frame was bananaed. It was crumpled. Like, the frame on the truck was crumpled. And just the shit was in the shit. Like, the battery was arcing. The fuse box was fucking in the battery. Like, the battery wasn't fucking shattered or whatever, but the fuse box had smashed itself all over the battery, and the fucking rad fans or whatever was in the fucking, the grill was in the thing. Anyway, so remarkably though, much to fucking, I will say, so I think I had Goodyear Wranglers on there, and fucking those things stayed on the bead and perfectly inflated after hitting the fucking wall in the ditch with the front end of the truck. They took some of that impact there. That was not entirely front end. So crashed the fuck out of that. And in the process of doing so I'm rolling around. I got a toolbox full of shit. I had Marx's broken wheel off the Tahoe, and a couple of burner tires off the Silverado or whatever in the back. So I think when I crashed this, and a truck driver on the other side of the road, taking the exit in the opposite direction, getting onto the highway, he stops to help me get out of my truck. I'm thinking, oh, what a nice guy. Well, sort of little do I notice, until later, I didn't really think about it. Fucking wheels and tires are flying out of my truck bed onto the other side of the fucking road, so they were probably in the way, and he was gonna run them over and fucking shit unless he got out of the truck. So I guess that was good for me that I caused such an inconvenience. So he helps me pull the door open or whatever, because it's just crumply stumply styles, like it's just fucking this just crunched. So we're fucking having to pull the bloody door out of the fucking door jam. It's locked in, and I get out, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fucking fuck, you know, like my parents are never gonna fucking let me live this down. They're gonna be like, you're an idiot. As funny as that sounds, but it's just, trust me, I'd be 45, and my dad would be like, you're a fucking imbecile. So I just be like, fuck, man, never gonna hear the end of this. And then I'm like, oh no, holy shit, no, you know what I have? For once in my life, you know what might come in handy? The fucking absolute fucking skid litigious fucking ass covering degenerate fucking part of society known as insurance. I'm like, all right, so you know what? I paid like $2,600 for this truck. They're gonna offer me like 10 grand. I'm gonna be able to do a fucking project. This is fucking sick, right? I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So that didn't happen. Anyway, we'll get back to that. So EMS shows up, whatever, and you know, they ask me a couple questions or whatever, and eventually I end up letting on, and I'm like, are you guys gonna tell the cops what happened? And they're like, that's not really our job. So I was like, yeah, I fucking flew off that bitch going pretty quick, and I didn't have no seatbelt on or nothing. And then they're like, buddy, my dude, because I flew I had no shit. I flew straight into the wall of a ditch, and they're like, fucking buddy, man, you better go buy a lottery ticket. And I'm like, well, you know, I would like to think that drinking a gallon of milk a day for a few years would lend itself to a level of fortuitously where I could just do that kind of shit. You know, it'd be the one thing that I'd noticed, because it certainly wasn't the level of fucking gains that I would have hoped to achieve. Anyhow, so EMS shows up, yada, 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 fucking cop shows up, everyone's showing up, and Clover Towing shows up and takes it, right? They start pulling out of the ditch. You know, the EMS is like, fucking, you know, you ought to go to the fucking hospital, mate. And because the fucking head guy in charge or whatever was an Aussie or something somehow. So he's like, you fucking ought to be going to the hospital. And I'm like, fucking sounds about right. Fucking have a good one, cunt. And so yeah, I'm like, all right. I end up going to the hospital. It wasn't quite how it went. Cop takes my fucking breathalyzer fucking thing, whatever. I blow a 0-0 because I hadn't had a thing to drink. I just do that shit dead sober. I go to fucking Surrey Memorial, and all is well, or fucking whatever. They take my shit. They give me a tetanus shot just in case I like somehow got tetanus or something. They give me a once over. I'm like, I think I yeeted my wrist, and I think I yeeted my head. So they check me out, and they're like, no, you look fine or whatever. Doctor comes in, fucking whatever. He's like, your blood pressure's a little bit fucking high, but you know, that's probably because of the car crash. And I go, oh yeah, because like mine's normally a little high, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, what is it, about 145, 150? And he goes, no, 172/92. And I'm like, fucking holy fucking tits and pickles. Like, what are you serious? Like, if you don't know, I'm pretty sure if your blood pressure ever goes over 160, like either number crosses 160 or like 86 or something, respectively. Anyway, you can look it up. There's a fucking chart for it online. And there's like stage 1 hypertension, stage 2 hypertension, and then there's a level called hypertensive crisis. And if your blood pressure goes over like 186 or fucking, or 160 something, 160 over like 186 or something, it actually says on the chart, stop what you're doing and go to the hospital immediately. You're probably about to die. So I'm sitting here at 172, like, yeah, sounds about right, but I'd fucking, get it on and go home and have a nap and have another 47 coffee. And I don't think I even had any coffee that night. The only thing I had was SARMs, but not even like real SARMs, like MK677. I go fucking end up going to the hospital, whatever, buddy picks me up again. Fucking kudos to my main man, the Big Frog. I think we called him the Big Frog. Yeah. Sorry. No, I totally blanked on that one. We got to start writing this shit down. There's fucking a few to keep track of already.
Thank you, Pastor Shane. I'll do that. Well, back to the podcast.
Kudos to the big frog. He was the one who came and picked me up. He's like, bro, you all right? You fucking dingus. And I'm like, yeah, it's you'll be all right. She'll be right, mate. And fucking, so I go to the hospital, whatever. He picks me up, drives me home, whatever. I go to sleep. Wake up the next day, and I got like $30 left in the bank or whatever. I like in my whole fucking world, because I had just gotten fired from yet another job. This was the custodial thing, because they were a bunch of fucking stun cunts. Yeah, right in there. I guess right after we saved the hoe, I basically crashed my truck. That's really interesting. So I fucking got like $30 left in my name. And I said, hey, buddy, let's go to Ricky's. And he goes, okay, bro, let's go to Ricky's. I'm like, yeah, Ricky's, man. So we go to fucking Ricky's, and we ordered fucking what I basically always do. I had a chicken and waffles with a side of stuffed hash browns. And I just really wanted coffee. Like, I woke up and I was like, oh, I think I have a concussion. And he's like, buddy, I think it looked like you got fucking smashed in the head with a sledgehammer last night. With a fucking goose egg on my head that was like an inch deep. I fucking, so he's like, yeah, you fucking, you think like if more on it. Is that all you got, you fucking asshole, for crashing your truck? I'm like, yeah, well, fair enough. So I just really missed coffee. So I went to Ricky's and I had like 6 cups of coffee at Ricky's. It just made me really happy to have coffee. So we go and carry on or whatever, and we're hanging out for the next few days. He's taken it upon himself to sort of watch over me and make sure I'm not fucking, somehow internally brain hemorrhaging or some shit. I don't fucking know. Just being a dude, being a bro, fucking, so. I end up calling bloody ICBC or whatever because he fucking I think he ended up suggesting it, and I was like, no, they said they'll give me a call back. Fuck, it's fine. So we're sitting in the truck, fucking in the long lost Hemi. Fucking may it rest in peace. It's not dead, by the way. It's just gone, unfortunately. Yeah. We're fucking we're sitting in the truck, pulled over somewhere under fucking underpass or some fucking shit. And I'm calling them, and they're like, yeah, your fucking policy, yada yada, you don't have fucking comprehensive. Is that a fucking crack in this Slurpee cup? I swear to God. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just shoddy manufacturing. Dude, fucking make Slurpee cups great again. What fucking happened? Yeah, no, it looks like it's fucking cracked. Anyway, so I call them, and basically these motherfuckers tell me, you had basic coverage. So, because you yeeted off the road as a result of likely you, and even if it was road conditions, fuck you, that's your fault. You're not covered for shit. And I was like, really? Not covered for a damn thing? And they're like, nope, you're not covered for a damn thing. And I'm like, okay, cool, you fucking bunch of scum ass pieces of shit. So that was basically how that went. So I didn't know at the time that you could tell, like, that you were allowed to tell fucking whoever was showing up, like EMS. I didn't know, Clover didn't have to pick it up, and I didn't know how any of this worked. When you crashed your shit, what they fucking charge you. So normally, if you're covered for anything through your insurance, your insurance pays the bill with Clover, and then they cover you for your shit and whatever. So they didn't want to cover me for anything. So I had to pull my truck back out of impound after waiting like a week or something to figure this out. I had to pull my truck out of impound with Clover. Now, if any of y'all know anything about Clover, they're horrific douchebags. And they charge more than everyone for everything. And so that was awesome. That cost me like $1,000 that I didn't have because I just spent my last $30 on Ricky's. So what I had to end up doing was selling the Lexus, which transmission was. I have to sell the Lexus, which is broken, to get money to pull the truck out of Clover, to get it dropped off, whatever. So I pay the shit. I try to have someone else come and tow it. Long story short, they tell me basically, they may as well have told me the last possible second after everyone fucking shows up that no one else isn't allowed in the yard but them, so go fuck yourself. So I had to pay the storage fee and the first tow and the whatever, and then I had to cough up another like $250 for a fucking 15-minute one-way tow. back to my house. So I drop this bitch back at my house. The fucking truck was just destroyed. Like, it's 110% a write-off. It's Hundies Taco Tuesday Undies Dundies, okay? And so this thing is just fucking crunched. We'll maybe throw up a couple pictures of it. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna part it out. And I had no interest in yada yada, and it takes forever because COVID, and because we're pretending we're not in a Great Depression because our entire population has motherfucking depression. Fucking pieces of shit, government. Anyway, so I end up working at a shop or whatever. Oh, fuck me, that's what this was. So I end up working at a shop with a buddy. We will call him Lizardo. It makes sense if you know him. It's a reptilian thing. It's a fixation, really. It's not. It's just we're just rambling at this point. So, I end up working with Lizardo, and we we get the thing parted out. And I don't get nearly as much as I wanted for any of the shit, except for the fucking, like, I think wheels and tires, I got something reasonable because I sold them to Marcus. Yeah. He's not an asshole. No. So he actually fucking gave me some money for something. Yeah. And fucking... and we pulled the engine and trans, and it was a fucking disaster and whatever, so we get those sold and the fucking shit, and it was a 5.3, and so I was expecting more money and yada yada. Anyway, so we got the shell, we got that disposed of, we got the fucking wheels gone, we got the whatever, and by the time it's all said and done, I've just been burned on the fucking money from the Lexus because I had to sell it at a loss because it's broken. I'd been burned on the truck because I had to pull it out of impound and move it a billion times and fucking yada yada. By the time it's all said and done, I got basically no money left. So I got maybe $1,000 or something accumulating from all various fucking places. So I go out and I buy a little S10. Buy a Chevy S10. And it's a 2.8 V6, but it's manual. It's fucking whatever. Yeah, it's alright. It's okay, right? This is the first manual vehicle I've ever fucking actually owned. So I use that to fucking, work at... where is I was using that at the shop. Right, no. I bought that to get to the shop. I was working at the shop where he pulled the engine and trans with the S10. So that's where I welded the wing to the roof. So if you ever see an S10 with a big ghetto sheet metal painted wang stuck to the roof, that was wang doodly done by me, my guy. Get the truck scrapped. Not working there anymore. I go back to a shop I was working to previously for a while. Work with this fucking guy who turned it out to be a knob. And so I had to leave that shop, which was just a ghetto fucking disaster anyway, but it was at least an entertaining disaster where we were doing an LS swap. So I drive the S10 there and back for however long, weld the diff there, fucking do a bunch of shit, and then we go on whip shitties, and fucking everyone's taking it for rips, and fucking we're going to the Hundasack, and fucking whipping shitties and whatever, and yada yada yada. So do we have a nickname? Ketamine's younger sister. Have we introduced her yet? We introduced Ketamine's sister? Yeah. What was Ketamine's sister's name? Pardon us while we be tremendous professionals and go through notes that we should have prepared while we were fucking sitting down. But it's off the cuff. It's fucking raw dog here. You get 100% off the cuff, spontaneous freestyling content, if I may flex to such an extent.
Yeah. Nigga-chini.
Is that what we call it? Yeah. Okay, alright, so, Nicocini. So, we... when did we introduce that? I don't even remember. Okay, so where are we at here? How the fuck did this factor back in? I've lost my place in the fucking story, for fuck's sake. So, we take it out. Right, that's what happened. So I take it out, and I'm letting a Nicocini drive. So Nicocini, being that it's welded diff now, whatever, she's like, alright, how do I fucking do this? What the fuck? Right? So I'm like, basically just turn into it hard and sort of dump clutch a bit and just let her eat, because it'll start sort of hopping around, around the corner. So we turn into the Hundasack, and she's like whipping shitties and just fucking loving it. She's like, woo! woo, fuck me, man. I'm like, yeah, buddy. Fucking S10. It's like, you want to talk? Everyone wants to be like Ford fucking Ranger. Nah, S fucking 10. Anyway, so we get back, and then I let, I right scumbagged him into it. Like I told him to. I let Daddy Joe, who is now. Have we gone over this? Do we have people's relations to each other in this fucking thing or whatever? Oh, okay. So fucking Nicochini and Daddy Joe are a thing. So anyway, he fucking goes and takes it for a rip, and because he actually does this shit, he doesn't think to ask, right? So he basically just pulls up, comes to a stop, cranks the wheel, and revs it up and dumps clutch, like not moving, right? Instead of doing sort of a kick while you're doing a tight turn. So we get it hopping like a motherfucker, right? It's just fucking bop, 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 just jumping off of the ground, and then bang and crunch, and we kind of jump out of the Honda sack there. Go, 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 go. And he looks at me, he's like, oh. I'm like, oh, my guy. And he's like, oh, that's your diff. Oh, man. Oh, that's your diff. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Oh, fuck. I'm like, no, bro. What the fuck? No. What are you talking about? It's fine. I told you to fucking send it. So that was the first time we fucking broke it. Then the second time, it was the Big Frog and Big M going up. Are you sensing a theme here? I think big is the theme, as in big dick energy. So they go and out together, whatever. Before they were a thing, they're now a thing. And he goes and whips some shitties, whatever, because it was already broken. Like it wasn't long for this world. I broke a couple of gear teeth off or something, but it was fine. And then I kept driving it. And I'm doing like 130 all the way on the highway or whatever every day to work, because this hadn't ended yet. The thing where I was going to, the last shop I worked at before he turned out to be a knob, he wasn't a fucking that wasn't over yet, so I'm still driving it. Then, because I'm remembering the timeline as I go, because I've had a rather chaotic and eventful go of it. By the time we're back out at Ho, and the Big Frog says, he goes, hey, you want to send it? And I go, fucking send it. And I throw him the keys. He's like, can I whip shitties? And I'm like, oh yeah, you can. So he takes Big M out, and they whip shitties, and he comes back with the truck going down in the thing, and that is the bent axle shaft wiping on the inside of the tube, and the pinion bearings slopping all over the place. Everything's just slopping. It's fucked. So that's just about locked up. We get one more run. We get Big M over to get like get a burger and fries or something right across the street, and just as we make it back, things done. Like it's fucking on. But when I went to leave again, it was locked up. Like fucking. By the time I tried it a couple times, it was like locked up forward and back. Forward and reverse and neutral and fucking $5,000 dump. Don't matter. It ain't moving. So. Luckily, we have some colorful characters who have made some equally colorful vehicular choices, and Hoon Daddy the Brows has taken the Hoonvo, the junker fucking, that was, oh my god, that just, he's really that guy who shows up and pulls the Vin Diesel fucking pop can tab wastegate line fucking, it's just, so anyway, basically he's done this, and just sent it for the moon, just all the boost ever. So he takes this concoction of German engineering that he's added the Cletus McFarlane flair to, and fucking, I don't know if we ever came up with a name for that thing. It was but the Hoonvo doesn't flow off the tongue. Just sounds like a cop out. Anyway, so don't worry. I knew when I said it. I'm acknowledging it. You don't have to acknowledge it. It's fine. So we take that and we basically nose up to the S10 and push it, just slide it, dragging tires out of the fucking underground parkade, so that one of our buddies with a fucking tow truck can come take it back to my house. So then I no longer have a way to get to work again. So what did I even fucking do? So at this point, I don't have the Silverado anymore. I don't have the fucking thing. I don't have the Lexus, because I had to sell it to get the Silverado. Silverado. I don't have the Kawasaki. I don't have the fucking... I hadn't sold the Ducati because that was in pieces. What did I do? How the fuck did I even get the money for the Crackhawk? I can't remember how I even got the money for the Crackhawk. I think I sold... What did I sell? I think I sold a couple of things and fucking... Oh, I recall. I believe somewhere in there I sold a couple pairs of headphones. I had a set of Massdrop AKG K7XXs, and I had a set of Audio-Technica ATH 1000Xs sitting in my room, relatively disused. And I sold those to a kid who he comes over with like the money in hand, buys them both, like fucking just drops $500. Yeah. I think I'm fucking the timeline up here slightly because I ended up buying a drawbar punch or whatever, like a knockout punch with that money, and then something was it the money from the engine, from the trans out of the fucking Silverado? Anyway, I can't remember where I got the fucking money for the life of me. So anyway, I go out and meet this fucking flip kid. You know, I'm going out looking around for a new vehicle, and I fucking I find a Civic or whatever, and it's got like a rat issue, and it's been overheated, and a head leak, and fucking whatever. So I'm like, So then I go out and end up finding a Jeep that I didn't think had any of that ended up fucking having that anyway. So I give the guy fucking, I think $1,000 for it, and it ends up like first day I go to take it to work. Oh. Right. I had left Lizardo's shop in favor of going back to the other shop, then broke the S10, then went out and bought the Crackhawk. So I got paid by the Bimbo's shop. That's what we'll call him. I got paid by the Bimbo's shop. And then I think that's fucking had something to do with getting the Crackhawk. So, I go over and I'm browsing around, and we go fucking all the way to White Rock or whatever, some weird ass fucking part of White Rock. And we meet this fucking flip kid, drive around, and he's super fucking sketch about doing a deal with me. And I ended up having to borrow some money from the parentals because ICBC fucked me when I got there for this fucking ticket thing and fucking whatever. So, long and short of it, buy this, show back up to the Bimbo shop in the Crackhawk, the Jeep. Fucking, like, first day, it's fucking, like, all the fucking coolant pisses out, it overheats or whatever, and fucking, I think first or second day, it shits the muffler out on the road. So now I'm driving this fucking righteous tractor around with overheating issues, carrying fucking bottles of water and shit with me. And that particular vehicle I still own, and we're still dealing with that. It's a rad leak. We've tracked it down, as far as I know, if it's just that. And then recently, long after all that, I've had another attempt at another job. Worked at Keystone for a while, and I recommend that to you if you absolutely care not for doing anything other than going to work. Then it's fine. Then you can go ahead and make some righteous money. If you feel damn good about your ability as a driver, and you don't care to have any free time ever, go work at Keystone. Fucking, I'll give you a reference, and fucking really just go talk to the guy who looks like Sam Elliott. And that's so my S10 had been parked. Anyway, so we take the Crackhawk and nose it up to the S10, which is parked, while I was being harassed for no reason, because the thing was like, we're gonna tow it, there's no valid insurance. So I leave a note on my truck because I'm paying to insure the thing, so I know it's fucking valid. I'm like, first of all, I don't know how you would have fucking found it. Like, Yes, it is. There's 2 valid plates on it that are fully and properly displayed on the front and back.
Yeah.
The thing's got insurance on it, paying for it. It's parked legally. Piss off. And that's basically what I said in the note. And then they did, because they were just trying to bluff me, I guess, to get it to fucking move when it was perfectly valid. Anyway, so I was getting harassed. I've gotten like fucking 7 municipal fucking tickets or something on that fucking thing sitting there just down the street from my house. So what we end up doing, for the sake of saving money just recently, is we nose out to it with the Crackhawk, which also has no bumpers on it and whatever, and we fucking basically just push it down the road, just slide, and it's in the rain, so it's kind of slide, just sliding along. We slide it all the way down the street or whatever, and then with the help of my dad, who's steering the thing while I push maneuver it with the Crackhawk, we fucking skid redneck that fucking thing into position on the sort of off driveway area, so that I can take the insurance off of it and quit being egregiously Jewed. Because I don't need to be paying like $170-something a month for nothing. Because if they decide you're not covered, you are covered for nothing. Because they don't like you. They want to fuck you for your money. So that is it. Marcus can attest. Insurance doesn't want to cover you for a fucking thing. They're a bunch of fucking scumbags. So without going too fucking Macho Man Randy / my dad, fucking, because he does that too. It's a blessing and a curse. It's an unfortunate inheritance at some points. So we're basically vehicularly up to date on me after juggling 27 different motherfucking vehicles. I think we basically draw to a close in my my disastrous abode once again. So we will hit you back next time. My man, do you have any final commentary?
Thank you guys for listening to our podcast today. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell for next podcast or video.
All right. Well, we will see you fine, potentially feathered fellows and fellowettes next time.
With